Mr. President, a second wave of support has hit White Forest and Yugioh. I've always wanted to say this line, but new cards, PogChamp, new cards, PogChamp. Never forsake me, Red Bull. How's it going, everyone? Good meowing, good meowing. Oh, welcome to the video. First and foremost, thank you so very much for all of your support on both the deck guide, or the build guide for White Forest Azamina, and the combo guide for White Forest Azamina. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you for supporting, being so kind in the comments, being so supportive in the comments. Really appreciate it. Thank you for liking and subscribing as always as well. If you would like to join me in a future discussion about White Forest cards or Yu-Gi-Oh cards in general coming up, want to weigh in real time, you can join me on stream at twitch.tv/Grinning Neko. So anyways, let's get to it. Let's get after it. I was awoken Wednesday at the wee early morning hours of 10:30 p.m. at night with the Discord DMs and notifications going off with the news of brand new White Forest Azamina support. Now, I've already gotten to see the cards. I haven't gotten to use them in any kind of database or any kind of testing whatsoever. So this is purely speculative at this point of how good they will be and what they can currently slot into. As soon as the cards are made available in some testing simulators, I'll be going over in a new video how I think the deck is going to be looking with the brand new support, what numbers we're looking to run, what some of the combo lines we're looking to play with, and what cards are going to make the cut and what cards are not. As far as this video, we're going to go over the brand new cards, their effects, if they're good or not, if they're probably going to see play. And let me just tell you, some of these cards are absolutely busted, absolutely going to change the way this deck runs in the future, and has the potential to make this deck a very, very, very competitive. I wouldn't say, it's hard to say tier 1 with the meta that we're going to go into with Ryzeal and Malice being available with Shifter and Banishing decks, but it's definitely going to be a strong competitive deck and strong meta contender. So without further ado, let's just get into the cards. Whoop! So the Tragedy of Diab Bell's Sinful Spoils, White Forest Azamina, and Diab Bell support coming in the brand new set. Suda Supreme, was it Supreme Darkness? Something or other. Oh, it's just called Supreme Darkness. Oh, sick. All right. So brand new set, Supreme Darkness. We have brand new Diab Bell Star lore cards coming out. White Forest and Azamina support. The first of them being a brand new 2-star monster. The Asamina LZ of the White Forest. Super, super important to note. This is both an Azamina and a White Forest name. It's a level 2 light illusion effect monster with a 0 attack, 0 defense, like the other LZ, the baby LZs. This is what, like teenage LZ, the teenage years, the angst years. You can use the first, second, and third effect of the card's name once per turn. You can reveal this card in your hand, special summon 1 White Forest or Azamina monster from your hand. Effect number 2, during your main phase, you can fusion summon 1 Azamina fusion monster from your extra deck, using monsters from your hand or field as material. And effect 3, if this card is sent to the graveyard as synchro material, you can add a Sinful Spoils card from your deck to your hand. So that third effect is going to be the strongest effect, most likely, on this card, being able to use this level 2 as synchro material to go +1 on a Sinful Spoils card, search out your Sinful Spoils Deception, search out your wanted Seeker the Sinful Spoils, maybe a card coming up in the future we haven't gotten to look at yet. This card's going to be very strong. I definitely see it being played at least 3, at the very least 2, but most likely this is going to be the new 3 of in the deck. Being able to go plus by adding a Sinful Spoils card if it's used as synchro material. So using this card in one of your level 4 tuners to go into Resilia, the level 6 synchro, to add the Sinful Spoils card. Then oh my god, this also chain blocks the oh my god, this card is so fucking good. Holy shit. This is definitely the best card we've been previewed. It ties the set together, ties the two archetypes perfectly together. It searches out your Sinful Spoils. You can actually use this as a chain block for your Arciela effect on special summon if you want to get the Arciela search off, or you could order it to get your Sinful Spoils search off if you want to chain block with Resilia effect, Synchro effect, to search the White Forest card or Light Spellcaster. So this card is insanely strong. This card bridges perfectly the Sinful Spoils and the Azamina archetypes, grabs you your Deception, grabs you your Wanted Seeker of the Sinful Spoils, lets you go into your Asamina line, and absolutely is exactly what we're looking for. And this card alone means that we no longer have to play the Toy Box engine. Now we have like a full bridge into both archetypes through this card. The next card, Sinful Spoils of the White Forest. So this is the card that I was kind of hinting towards a little bit. So this is a both a Sinful Spoils and a White Forest name. It's a quick play spell. You can use the first and second effect of this card's name once per turn. Number 1, if you control a Fiend, Illusion, or Spellcaster monster, activate one of these effects. Either special summon one Fiend, Illusion, or Spellcaster monster from your hand, or fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as material. And then effect number 2, because it is a White Forest spell, if this card is sent to the graveyard to activate a monster effect, you can set this card. This card is insane. This card is nuts. This card is probably going to be another 3 of as well in the deck. Helps, again, bridge into that Asamina line. We actually naturally summon our Asaminas now through the fusion, through the fusion effect of this card. It is a special summon from hand. If you have like an Stellar or something stuck in your hand, that's normally a normal summon off of like a bad draw or bad search. It is also a Sinful Spoils card and a quick play. Very important thing to note about this being a quick play and a Sinful Spoils card is you can actually activate your Hallowed Azamina normal spell card, chain this card to it since it is a quick play, and then the Hallowed Azamina can actually send the Sinful Spoils card, the Sinful Spoils of the White Forest, because they will both be on the field at the same time while they're being activated. Is a free way of getting out your Hallowed Azamina and to getting out your Azamina fusion summon if you're just using this for the special summon effect of this card. Or you can even use it to go into 2 Azamina fusion summons. And because this is a Sinful Spoils card and a White Forest card, this is searchable by both archetypes. This is searchable by your Arciela, your Arcielago, whatever the level 6 Resilia, Azamina Resilia fusion is. This is searchable by the Azamina LZ of the White Forest. This is searchable by every single card. You can set this with your Diab Bell star. This archetype and deck is going to be actually insanely consistent and very scary to play against. I really feel like this deck is becoming like the branded lore deck. While this is correct that this is the lore deck for the past few sets and the upcoming sets, or lore archetype for the past few sets and upcoming sets, it's starting to definitely go the branded route where all of these cards just basically search each other. You can run like 60 card piles of this deck, fit in just other extender 1 card archetypes, and this deck never loses consistency because everything searches out everything and bridges together so nicely. So the next card, Play the Diab Bell. It's another quick play spell. You can use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. If a spell or trap is sent to the graveyard to activate a card or effect, send 1 illusion or spellcaster monster from your hand, deck, or extra deck to the graveyard. And then during your main phase, you can banish 3 spell traps from your graveyard, including this card, special summon 1 Diab Bell monster from your hand or graveyard. How do I say this? This card is very bad. I don't think this card is very good at all. I don't think this card will ever see play. The thing that kills me about this card when I first looked at it is the second effect on it. banishing 3 spells and traps from your graveyard. While it's true that you are going to have a lot of spell and traps in your graveyard sent as effects by the White Forest cards, the strength with White Forest is the fact that we get to recycle these cards from the graveyard. It's the fact that if they're sent, they set themselves. It's the fact that summoning Diab Bell every single turn, resummoning Diab Bell, shuffling her back into the extra deck, resummoning her again during each turn to get that recursion effect, to just grind out your opponent, is the very heart and soul of this deck. So I don't understand why we want our spells and traps banished. The Like a Diab Bell is slightly better. So Like a Diab Bell, another quick play spell, you can use the first and second effects of the card's name each once per turn. If a spell or trap is sent to the graveyard by card effect, set 1 spell or trap from your hand or graveyard, but it cannot be activated this turn. During your main phase, you can banish 3 spells, traps from your graveyard, including this card, and special summon 1 Diab Bell monster from your hand or graveyard. Again, this seems very bad. Even the setting the spell and trap doesn't seem very good. Maybe like in case, like the only way the first effect is good is if you're like sending your woes to activate an effect, resetting it, sending the woes again to reset it. But even then, it's like cute at best. I don't know, because like the deck already is very flooded, and it's hard to fit in like niche cards, especially when there's like just much better cards you could be playing in those slots. So this card, Like a Diab Bell and Play the Diab Bell, I don't personally see them seeing play in these decks or in these archetypes. Maybe something new comes out that I don't know about that proves me wrong. Or like I said, let me know down in the comments. I'm open to hearing suggestions about how, like, if these cards are, if you think these cards are good, or if you think these cards are going to see play. I personally don't see it, unfortunately, with these 2 cards. And then the final card of our first wave of support, or first half of the wave of support, I guess, is Sinful Spoils Awakening, a brand new normal trap. I love, let me tell you, I love this art. I love this art so much. One of my favorite things in this world is traumatized white girls. Oh my god, she is going through it. You can only use one of the first, or okay, maybe, all right, maybe this is not too good. Hold on, let it cook. You can only use one of the first and second effects of the card's name once per turn. The first effect, if you control a level 5 or higher illusion monster, your opponent controls 3 or more monsters, target up to 3 cards they control, return them to the hand. And then number 2, if you control a level 5 or higher illusion monster and this card is in your graveyard, you can set this card but banish it when it leaves the field. This is very much like the LZ normal trap that just doesn't see play, that's already out. It's like Sinful Spoils. Hold on, let me Google it real fast. Is it Subdual? I think it's Subdual. Yeah, Sinful Spoils Subdual. And it just does not see play, because, I mean, at least at that time, having the only level 5 or higher illusion monster that we could control was the Diab Bells, possibly, but you had no way of linking it or like getting into her with the archetype, even though she's a good anti-spell fragrance. But that card just doesn't see play. Like I said, there's much better cards you could be running than that card in the slot, even though it's searchable because it is a Sinful Spoils card. I don't think the first effect of this card is very limited, or is very restrictive. The first effect of this card is very restrictive in the sense that not only do you have to control the level 5 or higher illusion monster, which of course is going to be your Diab Bells or one of your Asamina fusions, but your opponent has to control 3 or more monsters, which ideally you don't let that happen. Ideally, you're using your interaction. That being said, there was a second wave of support that came out or was previewed last night, Thursday night, from the time of this recording. The Madness of Diab Bell's MOA Regina featuring Snake Eyes and Goblin Biker support coming from Suda. We finally get our first look at who Asamina really is, Queen of the Azamina. Seems to be some kind of like thorn, rose, demon, like vine root monster. Very good. I actually love this card's design. I love this card's art so much. But it's a level 8 Dark Illusion effect monster, 2500 attack, 2000 defense. That's the same stats as Diab Bell. Yeah, it's the exact same stats as Diab Bell Star the Black Witch. I should know that. This card is always treated as a Sinful Spoils card. So again, this is both an Asamina card and a Sinful Spoils card that you can search back with your LZ, with your Resilia, with your Resiliago. It's also searchable with your LZ, Azamina, LZ. Very, very strong card. If this card is sent to the graveyard or banished from your hand or field by an activated card or effect, you can special summon this card. Then when your Asamina or White Forest monster destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can target one Sinful Spoils spell and trap in your graveyard and add it to your hand. The first effect on this card is a free special summon if you tribute it for like Sinful Spoils Deception effect, or if you tribute it as or send it as cost for like even Diab Bell Star. So it can actually be special summoned with the Azamina LZ of the White Forest or the Sinful Spoils of the White Forest first, and then sent as material, then special summoned back. That's actually very good. And then let's see here. The effect of Azamina or White Forest monster destroys an opponent's monster by battle. Recycling your Sinful Spoils spells and traps in your graveyard is very strong as well. Just another way of grinding out your opponent. I probably might see one of this in the deck specifically since it is searchable. And it is an illusion monster for us to use as fusion material as well. Oh, just using it as fusion material from the fusion spell will also special summon this card out as well. So yeah, that is pretty strong. That is very strong indeed. As another like 2500 beater. Then we have Snake Eyes Damned Dragon. Poplar finally has his glow up. He's finally a real boy. He is a strong boy, a big boy now. It's a level 8 Fire Dragon Fusion effect monster. Attack is 3000, defense is 2500. I think that's the same as Flamberge, I'm pretty sure. But one Snake Eyes monster plus one illusion monster must be either fusion summoned or special summoned by sending 2 face-up monster cards from your spell and trap card zone to the graveyard. You can only use this effect of the card's name once per turn. If this card is special summoned, you can target one face-up monster on the field, place it face up in its owner's spell and trap zone as a continuous spell. This is Flamberge Dragon if he was actually balanced. Maybe Jesse Cotton uses this in the Crystal Beast Snake Eyes deck. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments what you think about this card. I don't think it's going to see play, at least in Snake Eyes or at least in White Forest Azamina. That's for sure. And then we have finally for the a fusion monster that doesn't suck. We have Saint Azamina, a level 10 Dark Illusion Fusion effect monster with 0 attack and defense of 4000. Seeing 0 attack, I know exactly where this is going. Yugioh has actually ruined me in playing Yu-Gi-Oh! But it requires 1 level 6 or higher fusion monster plus 1 level 6 or higher synchro monster. You can only use the effect, the second effect of this card's name once per turn. It has the static effect of your opponents cannot target this card, cards they control, and cards in their graveyard and banishment with card effects. Also, they take any battle damage that you would have taken instead. So, Sinful Spoils Azamina White Forest gets their own Yugioh card. Suck it, Yugioh players, we get to burn too. This card is insanely strong. It basically shuts off a lot of what decks do nowadays. And then this card is just immune to Imperm, immune to Droplet. You'll only be able to get really rid of this through board breakers like Raigeki, like Lightning Storm. This card is actually insane. Being able to shut off your opponent's graveyard, shuts off like Snake Eyes decks, shuts off Yugioh decks. Oh, it shuts off Fiendsmith decks too, since I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, if the Fiendsmith Engraver effect targets 2 cards in your graveyard. And then you have the added effect of if this card was fusion summoned this turn, it has a quick effect. You can special summon 1 level 9 or lower Azamina monster from your deck or extra deck. So the line I'm envisioning with this deck is you have your Diab Bell, you have this out in defense. This lets you fusion summon a level 9 or lower Asamina monster, so this can either grab you your Omni if you've not used your Omni during your turn somehow. And more importantly than that, finally gives us a purpose to use this fucking card, Asamina MOA Regina. I have been waiting to use this card. This card is so sick looking, but it just hasn't fit really in any deck other than Chimera at this point. It can special summon out Asamina MOA Regina. And then Asamina on special summon lets you target 1 illusion monster in your graveyard except Asamina MOA Regina and special summon it. So this will grab, say you're going through your lines and you start on your Omni, your Sylvia, like we always wanted. This, and then continue as protection. Say they try and Nibiru you just to blow your Omni, or try and Ash at a specific time. Say they like drew into Furos or whatever. And you have to, whatever reason, you have to use your Omni during your own turn. Summoning out your Saint Azamina lets you special summon lets you cheat out your Asamina MOA Regina from your deck. Then Asamina MOA Regina lets you grab your Omni. So you're ending on Asamina, MOA Regina, who can target 2 cards on the field, destroy them once you activate a Sinful Spoils or Asamina card effect. You have your Saint Azamina that shuts off your opponents from targeting this card or cards they control. Cards in their graveyard at hand banishment with cards effects. And then you also have your Omni negate as well with your Alias Sevilla, plus your Diab Bell Synchro, plus your Woes, plus your White Forest Omni negate quick play spell, plus Sinful Spoils Deception at instep. This also makes your Azamina Debtors a lot more viable since you get to fusion summon during your opponent's turn. Summon Soul Air Stygian, send a card that's going to activate the MOA Regina, pop 2 cards. Soul Air Stygian is going to recycle your Sinful Spoils or Azamina card at the end at your next standby phase. You still have Syl Hat Rabbit plus the trap card set potentially. Maybe even IP Masquerena as well to represent SP Little Knight. This deck is actually going to be insane with the amount of layered interaction that it has. I'm going to skip the Goblin Bikers card because I don't know a damn thing about Goblin Bikers. Shoutouts to the Goblin Bikers players out there. And then the final card that we have is another normal trap, Asamina Unleashing. This card is always treated as a White Forest card. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. First effect is target cards on the field up to the number of fusion and synchro monsters, fiend, illusion, and spellcaster you control, and in your graveyard, return them to your hand. And then, of course, because this is a White Forest card as well, if this card is sent to the graveyard to activate a monster effect, you can set this card. I think this card would see play over the the Sinful Spoils Awakening. I still don't think this card is very good, but it definitely has more potential because we're ending on like 3 potentially Asamina fusions plus the Diab Bell Star. That's 4. That's 4 targeted. Oh, it also counts in your graveyard as well. Okay, no, this card's pretty good. That's 4 plus. Like, because we're also going to have Resilia in the grave. That's 5 cards potentially to target to bounce to the hand. I don't even think we're going to need that many cards, but it being a White Forest card that's going to be searchable, that's going to be resettable, is very strong. I think you're probably going to be running one of these cards. I would say we probably run one of these cards in our build. That's it so far for the wave of support for Azamina. What do you think? about the new Asamina White Forest support. Is this what's going to get you to play White Forest Azamina? If you aren't already or have been interested in the deck, have been checking the deck out, have been enjoying the videos from your favorite Mooncat deity. But a lot of these cards are insane. The Fusion Saint Azamina boss monster is absolutely disgusting, absolutely nuts. Alongside the new Azamina LZ is definitely going to be a 3 of. And probably the Sinful Spoils of the White Forest, since that bridges both archetypes together, is probably going to be a 3 of as well in our deck. The play the Diab Bell like the Diab Bell and Sinful Spoils Awakening, I don't really see played, but let me know what you think. If you come up with something better, or you think you have the line to make these cards work, if you have the idea to make these cards work, or how they're going to be used in this deck, let me know down in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe as always. Thank you for watching the video. Good night.